Hey, Ruan here from TunnelvizionTV, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how you can go from Modo to Realflow and then back to Modo without using any third-party plugins or even using the Modo built-in Realflow particle system that in my mind doesn't really work, or it's not that accurate. So first of all, I've got a very basic animation set up here. I'm just going to play through it. You'll see we've got some geometry that's just tilting like that, 100 frames, very simple stuff. And if you look at our settings, it's currently set to 24 frames per second, so that's just something to keep in mind. And one more very important thing before we're going to export to Realflow is that your geometry must consist of polygons that's only 3 or 4 sided. If you have polygons, let's say 5-sided polygons, this method will not work. So make sure your polygons are 4-sided or 3-sided only. Okay, so we're going to go to File, and then we're going to go to Export As, and then choose a folder where you want to export it to. I'm just going to export it to this one. And then here at the bottom where it says Files of Type, make sure you select the Alembic format, just a normal Alembic format, .abc. And we're going to give it a name. Let's just call this Export. That should be fine. And then click on Save. And that's basically just going to save that ABC file out to that location. So next we're going to open up Realflow. I'm using 2015, but this will also work with 2014. And then we're going to go to File and New Project. And I'm just going to call this Modo Tutorial. And then we're going to click on this Browse button and just browse to the folder where I want to save it. And I'm going to create a new folder inside this one. Just call it Realflow. Something like that, just so that everything is neat and nice. Click on Choose. And that's basically that. So I'm going to click on Create New Project. Okay, before we import, I'm going to make sure that my frames per second setting is the same as in Modo. So here by Simulate, I'm just going to click on the drop down and click on Options, and then make sure your frames per second is the same. So this should be 24, and then click on OK. Right, next we're going to import our animation. So I'm going to go to Import and Object. And then I'm going to browse to that folder where I saved that ABC export, which is this one. And I'm going to choose my export.abc, click on Open. And that's basically just going to load our animation. So if I scrub through this, you'll see that's the same animation that we have in Modo. So as you can see, we've got 200 frames on our timeline here. I'm just going to change that to 100 because we're only going to use 100. So yeah, you can only change this one to 100 and then change this number to 100 as well. So now it will actually just go from 0 to 100. Perfect, and we've got our animation. So I'm just going to change the display so that we can actually see our geometry just by clicking on this icon here. Okay, next we're going to create some particles. So I'm going to click on Standard Particles here at the top. And I'm just going to create a circle emitter and press W. I'm just going to move it up a bit. And let's move it over to this side, just slightly like that. And then we also need some gravity. So I'm going to go to Demons and I'm going to click on Gravity. And we just move that out of the way. It doesn't really matter where you put that. And now we can go ahead and simulate our fluid simulation. So I'm just going to click on Simulate here at the bottom and just let that run through. Alright, so our simulation is complete. So I'm just going to play through this quickly. And you can see it's not very high resolution at the moment. That's fine. This is just for showing you guys how to do this. So let's go back to the first frame, or frame 0, and next we want to mesh our simulation. Alright, so I'm going to go to Mesh here at the top and then click on the first one, the particle mesh, and it's going to create another node for us. And then one thing that's very important, you need to right click on this node and then go to Export and make sure that mesh sequence.abc is selected. Not bin, not one of the others. We want to export it as an ABC sequence. Okay, so that's cool. And next you're going to click on this Build Mesh Sequence button and make sure you're on your first frame or frame 0 when you click on that. And yeah, so let's just click that, and that's basically going to build our fluid mesh for us. So I'm just going to forward this quickly. Okay, so our mesh has been created, and basically it created an ABC file for each frame. So let me show you guys quickly. In our Realflow folder, Modo Tutorial, and if we go to the meshes folder, you'll see that there is an ABC file for each frame from 0 to 100. Alright, so you can actually view these if you're on a Mac. Just press space and you can kind of rotate around it, which is pretty cool. I'm just going to close that down. So now we basically need to stitch those ABC files into one file, okay? and you can do that in Realflow. So here at the top under Tools, you can click on Stitch Alembic Files. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to add files, and we're going to browse to that mesh folder. So meshes, and you'll see here we've got our 101 ABC files, and then I'm just going to select all of them. So just click the first one, holding shift, click the last one, and then click on open, and then you just need to set an output file. So I'm going to click on browse here next to output file, and I'm going to save this one right under that Realflow folder. Let's just call this simulation.abc, click on save, and then we're going to click on stitch, and this will take a couple of seconds. Just watch here at the bottom, that should tell us when it's done, and there you go, it says stitching files and then done, so you know that's cool. And then we're going to jump back into Modo. Right, now very simply I'm going to go to my first frame again. I don't think it's necessary, but just to make sure, and then I'm going to go to file and then import. I'm going to browse to that simulation ABC, the stitched file that we just created. I'm going to click on open, and basically you can leave default settings here. Just make sure that import all frames, that one is ticked, because you want to import all those frames, and then click on OK, and let's scrub through and see what happens. And there you go, you've got your Realflow simulation in Modo without using any third-party plugins. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and also remember to click on that subscribe button if you want to be notified of new weekly tutorials. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers, bye.